Hey there, and welcome back to Utility Sports Plus. In today's video, we are covering the AP Top 25 that just dropped 1 minute ago. So I wanted to go through it, look at some of the rankings, and give my thoughts on the overall job that they did this week. Looking at the others receiving votes here, Kansas State, Kentucky, Colorado. Colorado's the big one to fall out of the top 25 here. We'll get to that game in a little bit, but this is rather shocking by the committee, considering how much traction had really been built up for Colorado. I'm kind of curious to see the general media's thoughts on this one, but to me, I don't know if I necessarily agree with this decision to completely knock them out of that top 25. You have people that either love Colorado or they hate Colorado. There's no in between. There's no, oh, I'm okay with Colorado. Either you love them or hate them. So I think to me, I do actually have a little bit of an issue with this from the standpoint of I don't know that it was right. Fresno State here at number 25, unsurprising, 4-0 on the year, and they remain exactly, where I kind of thought they would be sitting with those rankings. 24 here, we have Kansas State with the nice win against BYU, 11-point win. To me, Kansas is just doing their thing, man. They have been consistent. It's been kind of crazy to see the turnaround, with this program, where they're heading. To me, I like this team, and they're going to continue to ascend in the rankings. This is a surprising one to me. The fact that Missouri football is 4-0 in the SEC in totality here. This is a team that's going to be battle tested later, coming in more of the conference play. They're going to have to win some big games. But to me, Missouri, this is a really good story here. Just shows the true depth of the SEC once again. They are sitting at 23. 22, we got Florida. Florida takes care of business against Charlotte. This was to be expected. They probably would like to clean up a couple things after, this game. However, they remain jumping up 3 spots. Another team, making a little bit of a leap here. Tennessee having a nice recovery week here against UTSA. Pick up the big, massive win there. Unsurprising from the Volunteers. Now, Ole Miss falling here due to a loss, 2-touchdown loss against Alabama is unsurprising. They didn't punish them too much, having them drop only 5 spots. But to me, going up against Alabama, it's a tough task. This Ole Miss team will continue to ascend. I firmly believe that they'll find their way back into the top 15 at some point in the season. But to me, I look at Ole Miss as a team that's going to rebound nicely at the latter part of the year. But tough loss against Alabama. The following game that we have here, we got Oregon State. Oregon State takes the loss here in a closely contested matchup against Washington State. So once again, the committee wasn't too harsh on them, in my opinion, having them only drop 5 spots against a team like Washington State. They felt like, this is a good program. It's a good team, and I think they're going to be consistent. That's the nice thing that they've done so far. They haven't overreacted. Another non-overreaction here, Miami blows out Temple 41-7, bumps them 2 spots here. But this team is looking nice. This team is looking really, really nice. Things are starting to finally gel for the Hurricanes. It has been long awaited since the Manny Diaz era. They've figured it out with Cristobal at the helm. To me, I think they're going to continue to ascend as a program and really bring back that notoriety that they had once built once upon a time. 17, we have Duke. Duke here has been good. They've been really, really good through and through. I think when you look at their aerial attack, it has been super impressive. They're killing teams through the air. They're able to run the football, and their defense is super talented across the board. They have multiple guys that could potentially make it to the league here. So Duke football, man, I mean, when you look at a program that's just so focused on basketball, and now their football program is really starting to turn the corner, they should be on everybody's radar. Number 16 here, they have Washington State. Now, Washington State is ascending and ascending here. I think that with the forgivingness of Oregon State, having Washington State be 4-0, they jumped the 5 spots. 2 teams that are very, very close in totality of roster talent and, coaching staff. They have been put on the national radar, which is really great to see. It's really, really cool. Teams like in the Pac-12 here, with the Pac-12 essentially dissolving for the most part, some of these teams are really showing out here in the final days. So Washington State here at 16. North Carolina picks up another win here. Drake May continues to do his thing, through the air, man. And he spread around the football very, very evenly throughout the course of this game. pick up the pick up the win on the road here. It's incredible to see some of these blue bloods in basketball really take it onto the football field as well. 2 4-0 teams from the true blue bloods. So it's pretty awesome to watch. Moving up here into the next realm, we have Oklahoma and we have LSU. So hitting on Oklahoma here, 4-0 so far. They get the win against Cincinnati on the road, but Venables done a very nice job making this team super focused. And you listen to these players, they're talking about establishing the buy-in. It's so much more than football. Venable has done a really good job earning the respect of some of his players here, and I think that is going to continue on. He's building the program. He's got good recruits coming in, and I think moving forward, they're a team to watch. LSU actually drops a spot here. Narrow win against Arkansas, which was, a little bit down to the wire here. I think that when you look at the combination of Neighbors and Thomas, they had a nice game. Collectively, I think both of them actually had, 2 touchdowns apiece. This is a good team. It's a good program. Brian Kelly has to clean up some of the mistakes, though. Some of the turnovers, some of the other issues that they've had going on so far. Because if they really truly want to compete in the SEC, they have to clean up some things. This is a talented roster, very talented roster, offensively, defensively. They got playmakers everywhere, and I think that they have to really just collectively put together some mistake-free football, and they're going to be right in that conversation. Alabama here at number 12, only jumping up 1 spot. The home win against Ole Miss. Once again, unsurprising here. Alabama will continue to climb the rankings. Notre Dame, man, if you want to talk about probably the most controversial game of the weekend, the game with the most excitement, walk-off win for Ohio State. Notre Dame, that's a tough one. That's one that's definitely going to sting. There's going to be a ton of talk throughout the course of the week about having only 10 guys on the field at the very end of the game at the most pivotal moment. They're trying to get a substitution. There's going to be a lot of heat put on this team for that, and more specifically the coaching staff. But I think I think it's somewhat warranted here. Like, I get it, but man, there were some other opportunities to really seize this game earlier on that were not capitalized on. So Notre Dame, tough loss, man. They had it right there against Ohio State. Utah just continues to do their thing. Low scoring affair against UCLA at home. Utah continues to get the job done. I cannot speak about the amount of consistency that you have in a week-to-week basis with the Utah Utes. Fun to watch, though, for sure. Fun to watch. Number 9, we have Oregon. Number 8, we have USC. Oregon is the big conversation point with this weekend. Their incredible job that they had done in the first half against Colorado. I mean, offensively, defensively, they were making plays. They definitely they had Colorado on their heels the entire game. So there's going to be a lot of talk about that game throughout the course of the week here, really dissecting it, but Oregon gets the job done, bump up a spot. USC, even after winning, they end up falling here 3 different spots. Washington, you look at this team, Michael Penix Jr., man, come on. I mean, he has been ridiculous. He's been putting up video game numbers throughout the entire season so far. Humongous win against Michigan State, who is really trying to find their footing post Mel Tucker. So to me, Michael Penix is on the true Heisman watch. Number 6, we have Penn State. Drew Aller, man, 4 touchdowns in this one. Iowa could just not get the ball moving on the ground at all. I mean, they could not run the football. They couldn't throw the football. 3 and out after 3 and out after 3 and out. I'm not super impressed with their showing in this game, but Penn State, a true testament defensively on how sound they are. So at number 6, Penn State. Number 4, Florida State, another team that had a little bit of a scare here against Clemson, ended up pulling this one out. They drop a spot, I think, due to how close that one was. And this is another team that's really got to figure out the ground game, in my opinion. They could not run the football effectively. Jordan Travis is awesome. He's fun to watch, but I think they have to establish more of the run game there and make that a focal point of this offense. But to me, Florida State here hanging around in that top 5. Bumping up to the next tier here, we look at number 4, Ohio State getting a big ranked win against Notre Dame on the road. Shout out to Ohio State pulling it off, man. Mental resolve, the ability to make plays happen when it really needed to happen. So to me, number 4, completely warranted here for them. Number 3, we have Texas. Blowout win against Baylor. They took care of business on the road. this team is so explosive offensively, man. So explosive, so many playmakers and guys that can vertically stretch the field on you. And I think when you look at Texas, man, are they back? Are they back? That's something that we have to really ask ourselves. I know a lot of people liked college football when Texas was not back. And I think that there's going to be some haters for this team, and I think there's going to be some people that are really pumped. But number 3 for Texas here, they remain pat. Followed by the top 2 here. Michigan gets the job done against Rutgers, and then Georgia cleans up UAB in unsurprising fashion here. So not a ton of changes in that top 3, but man, in that top 10, we've seen some movement here with that Ohio State key win. Florida State drops down due to a real close game with Clemson. Penn State just continues to just dominate in a lot of fashions here, specifically defensively, and Drew Aller's fun to watch. And watching him progress is going to be awesome. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any more college football, and we will catch you guys next week.